Hey, welcome to another episode of Deck Tech. I'm Jake Freedom, and this week here we're going to be looking at the mill deck. The mill deck seems to be gaining popularity again with the introduction of Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate is a Sapphire-based card, and what it does... Well, not Twisted. What it does is when you draw a card, the opposing champion buries the top card of their deck. So it's kind of one of the ideas behind this here for you to draw as many cards as possible and to kind of bury as many cards as possible in the opposing champion's deck, and also put in some booby traps in that deck as well. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let's build this deck just to show you what it all consists of. And let's go ahead and call it Blood Sapphire Mill version 1. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is let's go and get our shards out of the way. Like I said, this is going to be a Blood Sapphire deck. So let's go ahead and grab 8 Sapphire cards, and we're going to go ahead and grab 10 Blood Shards. We're also going to go ahead and grab Shards of Fate, and we're going to go ahead and take 2 of these. Shards of Fate is just to help us out if we need it. It's always a good idea to keep those in there if you're running a multicolored deck. Next card we're going to go ahead and get that Twisted Fate card, and we're going to go ahead and put 4 of these in our deck. Let's see, next card we're going to get is Bolt Paw, the Wizard. Reasoning behind this card here is basically so we can sacrifice a troop, target champion buries a top card of their deck. Just more milling through their deck there. Next card will be Chronic Madness. Chronic Madness is kind of a badass card, I think, when you're talking about mill decks, because it's escalation. Target champion buries top 4 cards of their deck. Play it again, they bury 8. Play it again, they bury 12, etc., etc. It can become escalated awesome very quickly, and it's awesome if you have booby traps in their deck. They're gonna find them no matter what, especially when you get up to the 12, 16, 20 card stage, if you can make it that far. So we're gonna go ahead and put 4 of these in the deck, obviously. Then we're gonna go ahead and grab, let's see, Zorlok the Broad Lord. And he is, when Zorlok deals damage to an opposing champion, that champion buries 3 cards from the top of their deck. Again, more card draw out of them, bury their cards, and also it creates a spider pawn and puts it into play. That spider pawn can come into use for this guy here. If we have him down, we can sacrifice a troop and they can bury another card again, obviously. So we're going to have 2 of those in the deck. Next card we're going to grab is Fate Rack. And the Fate Rack is target champion buries the top 2 cards of their deck. So let's go ahead and grab 2 of those. Next one's going to be some card draw cards for us. And that's going to be Oracle Song. And we want 4 of these. And like I said, so every time, if we draw 2 cards here, and we have 1 or 2 of these laid down, they bury 2 more cards. It's always a good thing. And next thing we're going to do is grab Necessary Sacrifice. Necessary Sacrifice is add an additional cost to play this action, sacrifice a troop, draw 3 cards. So if we had 2 Twisted Fates down, they would bury 6 cards total in their deck. So we're going to have 2 of these. And next card is going to be some card draw and health gain. This is the only health gain that's in the deck, and it's very minimal, but it's just card draw for us. It's the Bottled Vita, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to grab 2 of those. And next card we're going to get is the Sabotage. This is the one that's going to create booby traps and shuffle them into our deck. This is what we actually want to mill back out of the deck. So we're going to take 4 of those. And then we're going to go on to get some removal here. So since we're playing Blood deck, we might as well grab Murder. Take 2 of these. And then while we're at it, we might as well grab our Extinction. Take 4 Extinctions. And then we're going to grab Determined Zombie. These will be our helper troops, so we can help him out if need be, and plus to have a little bit of board presence. And then if we get some big bad scary guy out there that we live through, we're going to play Mesmerize. And we're going to go ahead and grab 2 Mesmerize. This is just target troop gets permanent. This troop can't ready. Just a little bit of more control there. And then last but not least, we're going to grab Thunderbird. And Thunderbird is there strictly for a helper troop. Now the troops, you know, you can certainly switch them out for whatever you like. As the deck stands right now, it probably could use a little more help on the card draw if these guys don't come out. You know, so you could sacrifice, you know, maybe take something out for card draw on yourself. Maybe put a secret laboratory in for something. Maybe get rid of these 2 cards here and put in 2 secret laboratories, so you always have a definite card draw. The secret laboratory is great, but you always have to sacrifice a card. So if you have 7 cards in your hand already and you draw 2, you're going to have to get rid of something. If you have something in your hand you want to keep and you have nothing you want to get rid of, you know, it can be tough to have to make that decision there. But as the deck stands right now, I think it'll do okay. You know, I don't know. What do you guys think there? I haven't looked at anybody else's, you know, mill decks. I saw one guy had this card here, and along with a ruby card that, let's see, it was at the start. What the heck was that card called? This card right here. So this one here, at the start of each champion's turn, they draw an additional card. He had a couple of these out with a couple of these, so I always had to draw a card. So I was constantly, you know, having to throw cards away. That's another version you can play. You can play the, the Sapphire Ruby version there, I suppose. You know, so whatever you'd like to do, you know, it's entirely up to you. It's just kind of giving you a blueprint or a rough outline of maybe a mill deck you want to start with there. And of course, we need to select our champion. Our champion is going to be one that makes the opposing champion, get rid of cards. And that is going to be Nin the Shadow. Target champion buries the top 3 cards of their deck. That is definitely what we want. And he's very low cost. He's only 2 cost. So every other turn, we get to bury 3 cards in their deck. So it's a very low cost for what it can do, especially, you know, when it comes to, you know, like the Fate rack here. You know, you pay 1, you bury 2. This one here, you know, like I said, we got to get him out first, and then so that's, you know, it's cheap for the card draw that it gets out of that, I think. So, and it's way cheaper than Secret Laboratory, having to bury one of your own cards after you draw a card. So, I think it's a good choice for a champion there. So we'll go ahead and save that. So that's going to be our Blood Sapphire mill deck. I'll go ahead and I'll throw together a Sapphire Ruby mill deck. We'll put that. I'll just put that those deck specs in the description there below, so you can go ahead and play that one as well. Like I said, you know, feel free to, well, obviously you can, you know, make changes to these decks. You know, maybe let me know what you did to make it a little bit better, you know, in the comments or whatever there. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Deck Tech. And if you like it, you want to see others, go ahead and click subscribe there. Click like if you actually liked it so other people can find it. And I'll have another video for you soon.